Welcome to a Vanguard news video without the bullshit. Let's get started. Once again we got nothing but card reveals this week for DSS-05, that I might as well turn this into a card of the day video, but since I went to 2 locals this week and ate out, news video it is. DSS-05 will have reprints of Youth Burke Dradueld and Lionorn's Ride line cards, but without the actual grade 3 unit. Besides needing extra copies of Jewel Core Dragon, everything else seems like a set filler. Speaking of which, DSS-05 will feature new vanilla triggers for all 6 nations. That space could have been used to give players an easier time to get the effect trigger reprints, but I guess it's more important that you have 4 different vanilla critical triggers to mess up your decklist submission. Coiling Parade Shibanu when placed on rear guard lets you pay 1 counterblast if you have a grade 3 or higher Laronral Vanguard to add up to 2 grade 3 Laronral cards with different original names from the top 5 cards of your deck. You draw a card instead if you didn't add any cards. So Laronral gets a grade 3 searcher, while something like Thegria that relies on Persona Ride still hasn't. And people say I'm just salty when the idle decks gets the most support cards. Clearstream Marilau, while on rearguard during your turn, gets 10k power if you have 2 or more face down cards in your order zone. And when she's placed on rearguard, you can put a card from hand into your soul to add up to 1 song order card from your deck. You can pay 1 soul blast for this ability instead if you Persona Road this turn. This card just made me realized that Laronral is just a furry brand gate deck that puts Archetype to shame. Sing With Me Laronral has the dress up ability that also regards her as heartfelt song Laronral. When she's placed on Vanguard, lets you call up to 1 grade 3 or lower unit card from the top 5 cards of your deck. And while on Vanguard, you sing up to 1 face up song order card in your order zone when she attacks a Vanguard. Then you can pay 1 Laronral Soul Blast if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or higher to get an extra drive check and your opponent cannot call Sentinels to the Guardian Circle from hand. The fact that she can call a grade 3 or lower unit from your deck every time you ride her, while also getting a grade 3 searcher from earlier, makes me very angry as a Thegria main. The support we desperately need is just bonuses for this noisy cat that needs to get neutered. Spiritual King of Ignition Valnout is a new Cray elemental overtrigger when checked on your drive check, in addition to the usual overtrigger effects. Makes you give one of your rear guards in stand position a once per turn auto ability that stands itself at the end of the battle it attacked. You draw a card and call up to 1 unit card from hand instead if you didn't give one of your rear guards said auto ability. As a G-era man once said, look at what they need to mimic a fraction of our power creep. Giving a unit with 100 million power the ability to attack twice is just pure bullshit design. Whoever at Bushier Roads R&D that greenlit this card should get demoted. It's bad enough that most decks these days rely on 4 to 5 attack turns to be relevant, and now this new overtrigger made sure that those decks will continue to dominate the game. Finally, 4B Doll Surrogate is a normal Regalis piece order card when played. Makes you search up to 2 grade 3 or 4 unit cards with different names. You call all the searched grade 3 cards, but add all the grade 4 cards to your hand. Just when you thought Bushier Road is silently killing off grade 4 Eidline decks, they create a card that can only add 7 cards in the format. Either this was only meant to be used on Kyrie or Varina, or the upcoming Craycross epic units will be grade 4 units. All I know is that I can finally use a Regalis piece on my Chronojet deck to bring back Bali. And that concludes this Vanguard news video. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if Valnout will immediately get banned in premium format on the next restriction list.